Welcome guys, back to Risk for Generational Wealth. My name is Barrett, and on today's episode, I would like to begin by posing the question, are people good or evil? This is something that we run into as we go through our lives and we meet different people, and you can't help but wonder, are you good or are you an evil person? Or where are you on the scale with that? What I would take away from this, guys, is that not everybody's good and not everybody's evil. We will all have a balance at different times of our life, depending on what's going on, depending on how we feel, and also depending on the perception of those around us. We might put out a certain action, but it might be perceived differently. And it's somewhat controllable by us, but sometimes also is not. This is an important topic that I would like to discuss because this can happen with even close friends and associates too sometimes. Maybe they have a bad time where something is a little off where what I would say is, in some cases I've had friends in the past that we've had great interactions. We've had a pretty decent friendship for years. And then out of nowhere, something really dishonorable or weird or out of character happens, and it causes the friendship to break apart. And it leaves me wondering, I'm like, is this person, were they evil the whole time? Or were they just, am I mischaracterizing them? Or maybe are they still a really good person? And what I would take away from this, guys, is that these people, they're just a different puzzle piece. We as humans, we're all different puzzle pieces, and we're all looking for quality connections for our own puzzle piece. And if you think about a giant puzzle, not every piece is going to fit together. In fact, you only really have one spot on the board where you can fit with just a couple pieces. And this is a metaphor for life in that you need to really, really filter through people to try to find those quality connections. And then when you have it, it's easy. You'll find that there's a lot of good in them. And then, of course, people aren't perfect. And there wouldn't be, 100% good. There's always a little bit of something else. But that's just the nature of people. And we can't, disregard those people in any way just because maybe they have one or two small things that don't quite fit well. You don't want to have too high of standards to where you have nobody around you. But I think it's important to be forgiving for people too. So I use this as a way, in my previous video I was talking about people that were dishonorable in the dealings. And it happens. We'll get into this too as far as forgiving others and forgiving yourself. But the main thing is you have to kind of look and see and understand that people say they're majority evil. Maybe they're having a really hard time. They're putting out a lot of bad energy. They're doing bad things. But there will always be some good in them. And it's up to us as individuals, if you have a lot of good in you and you have the energy to spend on people like that, try your best to inspire them to be better and to give some of that love and kindness. And this is why I kind of go back to my thought and like how I view life, in that if you're feeling positive, put the positive energy out. If you're feeling bad or negative, try to hold that in and don't spread that, because it's hard enough for people out there, especially if they're on the balance of having so much more negativity. And this is where, charity comes in, where in some ways, church can help too. And the point being is that you never want to judge yourself, because also you can be going through rough times too, and maybe you aren't the most honorable, maybe you aren't dealing well with other people, maybe you're angry. But it's important to look at yourself and try to ignite the positive side further and make yourself better, and push out the good things too. So that's the whole point here, guys, is just look at people as they're on a spectrum between good and evil. Even the worst people out there aren't necessarily 100% evil. Now, there are some people that do pretty evil and terrible things out there, but there's still, and it may be hard to view in this light, but there still probably is some good to them. Even if it's only the good that they give to those closest to them, in some ways it's them just connecting with their close puzzle pieces. And I think also too that forgiveness for those kind of people, if it's possible for you, can keep you lighter in your life as well. And you don't feel that kind of heaviness from the intense interactions you might have with people like that. So anyway, guys, just wanted to give you a little perspective here in Carbondale, Colorado. This is Risk for Generational Wealth. My name is Barrett, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you.